What's going on, people? It's your radio love, Deja Vu, in the building with one of the dopest sister girls out here right now. And it's amazing because it's Women's History Month.
Yes.
And the play that you are producing, Othello, just made history.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
What? Biggest grossing week ever in the history?
The highest grossing Broadway production ever.
That is crazy.
History of Broadway.
In the history of the Great White Way, Kandi
Yes.
Burress is in the building helping to make some history up in here. All right, so Othello is starring Denzel and your guy Jake Gyllenhaal. Talk to us about how you got with this particular project, and then we're going to walk and talk about everything.
Okay. So myself, my husband Todd, we are producing partner Brian. We've been producing everything together since this is our fourth Broadway production.
Yes.
So as a team, we've done 4. And during the course of producing the piano lesson, in which John David Washington was one of our stars, you know, for those who don't know, that's Denzel Washington's son.
Yeah.
And so that's when we first, started, having a relationship there. And Brian, who's my producing partner.
I met him. He's amazing. He's got really good energy. Yes.
He is. So he had started having conversations with Denzel, and Denzel said that he wanted to do Broadway again. This is a show he wanted to do. Make it happen. That's what he said. We made it happen, and here we are.
Come on. And now they're having record sales. It opens March 23rd on Broadway.
Yes.
Previews now. And, man, I'm hearing the buzz around it. I'm hearing it's a whole different theme, like a different futuristic kind of take.
Yes. So, Othello, as you know it, is, it's going to be different when you see it for this show.
Right.
Because we have set Shakespeare, which is normally, people think of it as the old days. And
Oh, Romeo, wherefore art thou?
Yes. Okay. Well, they still will be speaking the words of Shakespeare, but it's set in 2028.
Wow.
So when you come, it's going to feel more relatable because, the way they're dressed, the way, they look, and the way everybody is on the set, it's going to feel very much of current day. But they still will be speaking in the way that Shakespeare wrote the play.
Wow.
Yes.
This
so
is gonna be good.
It's different. It's different. And it makes it, for me, I know sitting and watching them do it, it made me relate better to the show. And it's so crazy when they're speaking in the way they speak for Shakespeare, for a Shakespeare play, and to see them acting it out, I was like, oh, I feel the emotions. It shows how great they are as actors, the way they're able to normalize that speech.
And they have like chemistry together. Even when they were doing the interviews, they were just like riffing off of one another.
They're really good together. But they're the top of what they do.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everybody's feeding to go see Denzel. So it's going to be an amazing thing. Othello on the Broadway stage. All right. So you said this is the 4th one you've done before.
Yes.
Producing.
As
but
a
you
producer.
were starring in Chicago.
Yes, I started in Chicago on Broadway. I was Mama Morton. That was my first introduction to Broadway as talent.
Right.
But I always tell people, just like how I am in music or TV or film, like, I want to know the behind the scenes just like I know, being the artist.
Come on.
Right? Because it's important. Because when you get behind the scenes, you're able to make opportunity not just for yourself, but for other people too. And I felt like it was important to do that in the world of Broadway. Because you started off this show saying, oh, the Great White Way. Well, now, we are helping make change, to make more opportunities for us to have positions not just on stage, but also behind the scenes.
Right. And being able to see people who are producing that look like you, a reflection of that is amazing because you don't hear about it. I mean, like, wow, someone's producing a Broadway play. I want to learn how to produce too. Let me see what I can get into. And it gives you something to work toward and to find out about.
Right. I mean, I think a lot of I would say a lot of African Americans, we didn't realize that Broadway was for us too.
Right.
A lot of times, we have people who want to sing, who want to perform, but then we don't realize how many opportunities there are behind the scenes.
Right,
You know,
but that's
whether
with
it's
all of the entertainment industry. That's where a lot of the moves are made behind the scenes,
decisions I
behind the
made,
microphone.
moves I made.
Yes.
Yes. And so I think I am making it more of normalizing it for us to be like, hey, come to the show. You know, come to New York to see the show. You know, this is for everybody. This is for us, you know, diversifying our crowds. I mean, it started back with our first production, but even on the piano lesson, 70% of our ticket buyers were people who never bought a show to a Broadway play.
Wow, and that's what you're bringing.
Yes.
Come on, Kandi.
You got to bring the people out. We got to bring us out.
Yes.
And, you know, show us that, you know, this is for us. You know, it's for everybody. It's, you know, it's not just for one crowd. And expanding. And, you know, it's good for the arts, too, because, you know, in schools and everything, how they've been trying to take the arts away.
Absolutely.
And showing, like, this is really something people can make a living in really excel doing what they love, you know?
And all these art schools need to be showing these kids what's happening, not just on the
Yes.
stage. We see them do their productions, but the behind the scenes.
No, behind the scenes. I mean, you know, whether it's, you know, the person who's the costume designer, the set designers, all of those positions. I mean, so many different positions
That we don't even know about.
that you don't even know about in opportunity, you know?
I love it. All right, so wait, now that we have you doing your thing on Broadway, let's go back a little bit. I wanted to do a deep dive. I was like, Kandi, because you've been in here before with the group, with Escape and everything, and we've seen you on Kelly and Mark and all that, but I was like, I just want to study, because you are like a master class right here. Just looking at your website, Kandi. Can you just talk about the accolades, songwriting, restaurateur, product? You have your products, you have shows. All right, take us back to when it all started.
Escape.
Music, of course, was your first love. Did you do it in like high school, or were you in the church, you know, singing all the programs?
So, you know, I started off with the group Escape, but, you know, we met in high school.
Okay.
But I went to Tri-Cities High School of the Visual and Performing Arts.
So you went to one of those art schools?
Yes, but I was a drama major in high school. So I was in musical theater in high school. I also was in the Youth Ensemble of Atlanta. So really, like, acting and singing were like equal for me. Like,
so this
I
is
wanted
full
to do
circle.
both. This is full circle for me. But I met my group members at high school. Tamika and Tasha, we all went to school together, and that is where we really started working on our dream as like teenagers. I was on what is it? BET. Remember what was the talent
Summit?
Teen Summit?
Were you really?
Yes, our group. We was on their talent showcase. That was our first big opportunity, and we sang "Hold On" by En Vogue. I remember that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was only 14 or 15 when we went on that show.
Wow.
Yeah, and we got our deal when I was 16. So I've been in
really
this
been in this
industry
game for your whole life.
my
I
whole
knew y'all
life.
started when you were teens, but I didn't know it was that young. I thought it was more like 18, 19.
Well, I mean, I was the youngest in the group.
Yeah.
So I was the youngest in the group, and I was 14 when we first met. I was in the 9th grade.
Okay.
You know, they were older than me. But I was 16 when we signed our deal. I wasn't even legally able to sign without my mama. That's how young I was.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That is amazing. And now you have been in this game. You've withstood the hands of time, all the changes and all of that stuff. Give us a lesson that you've learned industry-wise, just from that little snippet of the industry.
The music
The
industry?
music. Girl,
Ooh.
we know record company people
That's
are
it.
shady.
It's tough. It's
No, but
tough.
like something that you learned, I don't know, that you would tell the people who were at the high school, the drama and visual art schools now, what would you say about that portion of it?
It's so much that I would say. I mean, first of all, you got to really pay attention to your money. You can't just be over there singing and dancing and think, you know, everything's going to be okay. I mean, I remember as a group, our first accountant stole money from us.
Really?
Yeah.
So how did you find out? Because if you know the money's
after
coming in, but then...
the first tour that we were ever on, it was Salt and Pepper and R. Kelly tour.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was our first tour. After we came off the tour, we were like, okay, you know how all the money is like going every which way. Like, okay, well, where the money at? You know, like
We're in all these cities singing.
but then they had like this big, like $100,000 in like, what is that, miscellaneous? It was like miscellaneous. Like, how you have $100,000 in miscellaneous? And then it was two partners. One of them, he just disappeared. And come to find out, his partner said that the other guy took the money and went on about his business.
Oh my gosh. So did y'all
Yeah.
sue? What was the recourse?
It was none. Nobody knew where the other guy was. Like, it was nowhere to find him. But it was like my first real lesson in, okay, you can't just let people control your money. So like now, like I don't let anybody write checks for me.
Really?
I sign all our checks. Yes.
Come
like
on.
no, like I need to see what's going on. You know what I mean? And at least, you're going to spend a lot in business.
Of course.
But at least I want to see it. I don't want you just over here being able to do whatever you want to do.
That's a wise lesson. Get that money up because you're working and you're making it and all this, but we have to make sure we have our ducks in a row and people that we can trust. And
it can go as quickly as it comes.
That's another thing. How did you avoid the pitfalls of that? Because we've seen you like consistently. I know there were some lean years when we didn't hear a lot of the music coming out with the group, but you were still active.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't realize that, I went behind the scenes for a while writing songs for other people. So, I wrote No Scrubs for TLC or
that was
Bills,
so huge.
and Bugaboo and all of that for Destiny's Child. And, There You Go for Pink. And I had a lot of different artists that I worked with. NSYNC, Mariah Carey. So many people that I loved.
Yeah.
That I was able to work with behind the scenes. And that's when it was so funny. I had I guess that's when I had an epiphany. As a group, we had success.
Right.
But I got respect when I started writing for other people.
Mm.
And it's something about when you can really help somebody else's career pop off.
Right.
When it's like people look at you a different way. So I feel like the respect from my peers came different. So say for instance, as an artist, from our label, everybody, it's like, oh great, Escape, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
But from the other labels, we didn't make them money. So they was just like, oh, okay, hey girls, Kandi from Escape. Oh, the girl from Escape.
The girl.
Right. But when I started writing hits for other artists and I would go to a music event, all of a sudden, all the different executives from all the other labels.
Kandi,
what's up? And I was like, you know me? Oh, okay. It was totally different. And I get it. It's because you can help move the machine.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially when you're consistent.
When did you realize you had the talent to write the songs as outside of just singing them?
Oh, well, I had already started, I loved writing from the beginning. Like I always would make up songs and stuff like that. And I was working with different producers, like really, honing my craft, like coming up with melodies. I used to be, I would sit with this one producer and I would just come up with different melodies to the same track over and over. So like I can write, you give me a track and I can write multiple songs to the same track.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Does it take you a long time?
No, you can give me a click and I can write to a click. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So, and then being around Jermaine and absorbing like how he would take everyday lingo and put it into a song and make it cool. And, like I would just absorb things from all the people that I was working with. But, it just took, it's so crazy. Like I would ask Jermaine, let us write, or let me write. And he'll let us write like a little piece of the verse, just a little bit. But then when our group started having issues, I was like, we got to figure something out because in our going into our third album, the group was kind of falling apart behind the scenes.
It's hard to be in a group though anyway.
Hard to be in a group.
Personalities.
Hard to be in a group. So I was telling Tiny, I was like, yo, like, we got to figure out what we're going to do. So I was like, let's, start trying to figure out a project or start writing songs on our own because one of our group members was going solo. And I was like, we need to try to come up with something. So Tiny and I started going to the studio working on our own project or like a duo project. And No Scrubs was one of the songs that we had wrote for ourselves.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And L.A. Reid heard it and he wanted for TLC. He wanted it for them. And I was like, sure, let him have it. But that opened the door for me to be able to write for other people because, once you, show people like, oh, this is what I do. I can do this.
Right.
And then other people is reaching out like, hey, can you write for this person, that person,
well, that
whatever.
song, No Scrubs, was like a monster hit. Like,
praise
and then
the Lord.
It crossed over. So, no, it wasn't just the urban audience. Then you crossed over because when that song was coming out, I remember I was in St. Louis and we were like, okay, this is doing good. Then you'd be on the company conference calls. Yeah. Hey, what about that No Scrubs song? And then you tell everybody in the different departments. And girl, it took off like wildfire. Yeah. What was that like when you got that and you all saw like, oh, this is real?
Yeah, it was huge.
It was so major.
It was like an answer for me to to, a place when I was like going through a moment where I was like, I didn't know where my career was going to end up.
Right.
Because if you like a teenager and you're in a group and you think, oh, yeah, we doing this, and then y'all start, basically we defeated ourselves because we didn't have any flop albums. All our albums were, all three of them was platinum. But we fell apart because we fell apart, not because the music did.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you're like, okay, how am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to maintain my lifestyle? Like, I didn't go to college. I'm only at that point when we was like falling apart. I was like 20 by then. I'm like, what I'm gonna do? You know what I mean? So that just came at the right time, and and I was really on grind mode because I was like, okay, I can't be broke.
I know that's right. Especially after you've already had stardom. You're like, okay, people know me. Kandi.
I didn't even care about the stardom though. That's the crazy thing.
No?
No. I was so cool writing for people just as much as I was cool of being on the stage if need be. I think that's what has helped me in life. It's because I don't go into ego with things. I don't have to be the face of anything.
Gotcha.
As long as I'm still making the money and I'm still making moves and, whatever I am a part of is still successful.
Right.
Then I'm good. Let's make it work. So I can work either role for me. And so the writing, it was really a blessing because I was like at a time where I thought life was about to end as I knew it. You know what I mean? It's like a whole nother career opened up, and it was even bigger than the music, being an artist, Then I saw, okay, I didn't even know songwriters was making that much. I'm like, dang, our group should have been writing way more.
Come on.
What was we doing?
But your eyes were open to that.
Yes, I was open up to so much more. And I became the first woman to win ASCAP Songwriter of the Year for Rhythm and Soul. So it was like, then I'm like, okay, and I'm making history over here. Okay, this is kind of good. I like this. Let's keep this good energy going.
So now you're doing things, you're writing, you're making music and everything. And now I see you have a new group, Siren. How is it on that end now, going back and helping to craft these young girls who are trying to get into the industry?
It's awesome, but it's tough. So
Why?
Two things. Well, first of all, let me shout out to Siren. I've been telling y'all it's time to bring girl groups back.
I was wondering, back in the 90s, you had all the girl groups and the guy groups.
Yeah, and it hasn't been going on now, so it's time to bring them back.
Okay.
And I'm glad I did because they're the first girls to have a #1 song on R&B Airplay on Billboard in 23 years.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, their song Sober went #1 on R&B Airplay on Billboard, and last time that has happened was Floetry. It had You Say Yes.
Are you kidding me?
I know, it's crazy, right?
Crazy.
Crazy. But that shows that, we're going in the right direction. But I'm learning a lot as well. I'm doing it independently. So
you're like the label owner, you're
the financier.
the
coming
investor.
It's coming out my pocket.
Right.
Which, so we're doing a lot, and but I'm also helping these ladies live out their dream.
Yeah.
So I don't want to let them down. You know what I mean?
You can also tell them the pitfalls and the things to avoid as a group member
yourself. I laid down the rules when the day one. I was like, look here, these are things that I already know is going to happen. So I'm telling you now. Right. So when it starts happening, you recognize it. And y'all really got to work as a group to try to make sure that y'all can lock in and push through. You know what I mean?
Do you find that social media is helping now? If we had this, we really would have been doing such and such. Do you think it's helping a lot more?
I think it's helping. I think it's a lot. I mean, it's a difference of when I was used to the big label, big machine system. You know what I mean? Now, all those things I have to figure out myself or know myself. Like, okay, we got to have them a publicist. We got to go make sure we set up radio for them. We got to do this. We got to do that. It's like so much that politics, really, that it goes into music that people don't even know about. And to have to, work it at this point in my life from a business aspect instead of being the artist is different, but it's fulfilling, especially as I'm seeing them continue to grow and build and their audience and the people who are finding out about them and loving them. Because these girls are so talented. All three of them can sing their butts off.
See, that's amazing.
Yes. That's amazing. It's like, back in the day when the groups all could sing, you could break out in harmony or you could take away the music and they can still rock it. They can do that.
Okay. That's dope. So shouts out to Siren, the new group that you're doing on the music end. Are you adding other talent, or are you just going to focus on them for now?
Well, I'm just pushing them for now because I got something to prove with them.
Come on now.
Well, because it's like, when say for instance, I was in music, I'd done TV and film, so I wasn't really doing music as much anymore.
Right.
People start believing the hype of, oh yeah, she don't do this to me. Oh, no. I do this.
Come on. Okay.
I know a hit when I hear it. I know whether I hire this person to do it or I do it myself, it's going to get done over here.
Come on.
Like, you know what I mean?
So you're managing that. And then you also have, let's just go into, because you have so many sectors here. And I love it. This is what I say, touch all of the marketplaces. You're doing all of that. Talk to us about the roles that you've been taking on TV, from The Chi to Reasonable Doubt. How did those come about? And do you have to pause something and say, okay, I'm going to shoot here for a second, then I'll come back with y'all in the studio? How does it work?
Okay, well, yeah, I really am trying to build my career as an actress to where, I'm respected as an actress.
Just like you are as a writer.
Yes, yeah. Because here's the thing, when people, like say for instance, when music artists or people from reality start going over into, the acting world, sometimes they think, oh, they're just doing this because they, no, this is something that I have been wanting to do since I was a kid, that I have practiced at. I've really been working at this, and I'm about to show you.
But see, just like you said, you were majoring a theater major when you were in high school. A lot of us did not know that because we knew you from the group, Escape. Yes.
Right. Yeah, and it's a lot of people who have other talents that you don't know about, but it's up to us to get it out there to the world, right? So, and to work actively at finding the right roles, doing all of that to, I do 1,000 auditions, but I got a few roles that I really, really, truly love.
Yeah.
And, you got to turn down some that, don't really fit what you're trying to do.
Have you turned down something that you're like, oh, I should have taken that one?
No, not that I felt like I should have taken. I mean, I think, sometimes when people want me to play something that's too close to who I am, like if you want to, I'm not going to play a reality star on a show, or I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to, like, being Ebony on Reasonable Doubt, totally opposite from who I am as a person in real life. I mean, she's a woman who, was addicted to prescription drugs and different things. She's having setbacks. And, I was able to show a total different person, a true character. You know what I mean? Which was wonderful. And I got a lot of people who reached out and was like, oh, I loved you in that. And then I love being Rosalind in The Chi. Rosalind, she don't play games, okay? And I love playing that role, and being a part of The Chi has been great. It's like one of the longest running
I know.
series. Shout out to she my birthday twin.
Is she really?
Birthday twin, yes. We go hard to go home. Taurus.
Come on. Yeah, you got a birthday what? May
17th.
And she's ready to party.
Yeah.
Are you gonna turn up?
You know it.
All this hard work, you bet to.
Yes.
All right, but wait, okay, so you have the roles. Any romantic comedies, anything like that coming along? I need some romance. I need to see us in romance. Can we get
maybe.
like that?
I haven't done any. That's a good idea. I haven't done any romance or type of films. But I love a good drama. I do. I do. But right now, my husband and I, we are producing more films. So we already have one that we finished, but we are just figuring out where we're going to distribute it right now. But it's called Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta.
Don't Bring Your Man to Atlanta. All right.
When I tell you.
Is it a comedy or is it?
No, it's a drama.
It's for real drama.
Yeah, I'm not in it. We just produced it, but it's so good. It's really about how, a couple from a small town comes, and then next thing you know, they come with big dreams of, changing their careers and stuff, and it goes left. There's too many distractions.
It's a lot of stuff that happens in Atlanta that can distract you. Girl, listen, I was almost about to take a job down there back in the day doing radio.
Ooh.
And I was like, I would have gotten swallowed up. I would have been crazy.
It's so funny that you say that, but you live in New York.
No, but New York is a different kind of hustle. Atlanta also, because I have a lot of friends. I think I just probably would have just been too wild. I would have been too wild.
Yeah, well, to me, I feel like I am pretty wild too, but I feel like, you gotta still maintain focus in whatever area of
Well,
business you're
now,
in.
yes, but at that time, girl, no. Because I was already driving down, because I was in Jacksonville. I would drive up to 112 to party, be like, turn it up.
I've never been a big partier. It's crazy. Like, I'll go and I like to party amongst friends, but like club person, like I'm gonna go if it's your birthday or if it's something, and I'm coming through. I'm gonna show up for you. I'm showing up for everybody that I'm close to. But I don't have to be in the club all the time. I never have been like that because I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do all that.
No, I'm like that
I gotta
now.
stay focused. I gotta know what's going on.
But see, you're good because radio, you get the free drinks. You're at the club. Come on out,
You
it's
think
ladies'
I
night, we
wasn't?
turn it up.
They was letting me in the club when I was a teenager.
Oh well, see, you got discipline.
First of all, now let me be clear. I told you I am. There's a wild side.
Well,
So
we
I was sneaking
heard.
in the club
Candy
before
Coated Nights.
I was sneaking in the club before I had a record deal. When we were just in high school, we was
Oh, y'all was out there.
What?
No, girl.
I was slide me your ID. Let's go. I was in there.
She was out there. All right,
Yeah.
so now you're out here, you're producing the movies, you got Broadway. Let's talk about the products and everything that you've done. Like when you had your product line, do you still have Kandi Coated Nights with the tools and the toys and all that fun stuff?
Yes, bedroom candy.
Bedroom candy. And I thought this was so cool
You
because
can buy bedroom candy on Amazon now. Ain't that crazy?
Come on, Soft Plug. You know you can buy bedroom candy. Get it for $9.99.
No, it's crazy because I would never thought it would be to the point.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This was your brainchild. Then you had sales associates and stuff too at one point, right?
We still do.
I thought that was because nobody was doing it like that on that kind of level, like a multi what is it?
Multi-level marketing.
Multi-level marketing.
Yes.
And that just blew my mind. I was like, she's over here handling the business.
Yeah, and that business model has changed a lot. So to be able to say we still have over 1,000 consultants across the country that still do bedroom candy. We got a convention.
promote- that's
we
what I
went
was
on a
gonna say. Do you do
cruise
that?
in August. Yeah, we do.
Kandi, why do you just be
we
sitting
hang
back
out
like,
together.
yeah, we got
we have an
this?
event coming up in May. Wait, nope. Sorry, at the end of March in Atlanta.
That is so freaking
I will be there.
dope.
Yes.
Okay, and so now you have that, and then it's sold on Amazon. You have your show through Amazon.
Yes,
The
my
Generation
mom.
Yes.
My mom Riley and I, my daughter Riley, we have Generation Face Off, where we like go back and forth about products and stuff from our generational perspective.
Yes.
Sometimes it would be some heads that bump. On that, 'cause
Gen X,
my
Gen Z.
mom and Riley, oh my God, them two in the same room, it'd be like, oh.
But this is not the first thing you've done with Mom. Mom has been featured on your shows.
Yes.
She's part of the old lady gang with the
Yes.
restaurants and everything. How is it working with family? Because you have the dynamic with your husband, but when you get mom and aunties and everybody involved.
It is stressful. I mean, because like when it's like a show like well, especially like when we're doing housewife stuff, you know what I mean? They have to deal with family drama on TV because it don't turn off when the camera goes away.
But it actually hypes up because you got everybody commenting as well, right? And talking on social.
The social, it really hurt. It really makes the drama even more because my mama reading that stuff and she mad at me because of what the people said about her on the. I'm like, God, please take her off of the social. The Facebook said that. I'm like, oh my God, please stop looking at Facebook.
But that's what she gets caught up in, and we all do. But how do you navigate that though? Like, have y'all had to have like,
It's
all right, Ma, come on,
tough.
let's have a conversation. Cameras off, Ma, Auntie.
You just
Honey.
you gotta let time heal wounds because like our family. But we've been pretty good at like everybody gonna say what they gotta say.
True.
But then we just kind of like let everybody cool off and we keep going as usual. We just keep going.
Would you go back and do more reality kind of stuff?
I mean, I don't know. Right now, I'm not in a place to want to do reality.
You're already stretched thin anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But it's not that. I feel like there is it's a lot of positives that come from doing reality. The fan base that follows the show, they get to see you, they get to see your family, your friends, what y'all working on.
Yeah.
All those things, and they want to. They feel connected to it.
Right, and it's a different interaction.
Yeah, they're definitely, and they want to support you a lot of times. I mean, sometimes they be coming against you, but it depends. But so it's a lot of positives that comes from it. But I feel like I did it for so long.
I was looking. I don't think I realized it was 12 years.
No, 14.
14.
I was on there for 14 seasons. I was the longest running housewife.
Another record.
Yeah, I did it 14 seasons straight.
Yeah.
Now, even if there are other housewives that are coming up on their 14, not on Atlanta. I mean, like on, I think maybe Teresa,
franchise,
but they didn't go 14 seasons straight. You know, Teresa had to take her break because of the jail time, and I think what's our other homegirl from
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, one of the OC girls. She took a break and then came back. You know, she had a long run as well, but you know, I was the only one that stayed on there nonstop 14 years, 14 seasons
That
straight.
is a lot of cameras in your business.
A lot. And plus, not to mention, I had like 7 spinoff specials or something.
The wedding. Look, girl.
The ski trip, it was so much. Too much.
But it's still, but we still want more of Kandi. And
Oh
you've been
yeah, we
giving
had
it
2
to us.
escape seasons. Remember?
Oh, that's right,
oh
girl.
my God, that was stressful.
So how's the group doing? I saw y'all performing at Jazz at the Gardens. Y'all had the little white on, looking cute. That
Thank
was
you.
dope.
We're doing really good. Like
Good.
things have been going great. We got more shows coming up this year.
Are y'all going to work on other music projects?
Well, not right now. You know, I think I'm always the one that they say Kandi is the one that's stopping it, and it's only because I feel like we have a legacy of 3 multi-platinum albums and multi-hits back to back. This year, this day and age is a little bit different, and I don't want to be like, I don't know why people always say they waiting for certain artists from that time to come out with new music, but when they do, I don't see people supporting it.
Yeah, because we love y'all where we found you.
Yeah, people want to keep hearing you sing them songs from back in the day, and not to knock those songs because we still selling out shows doing those songs, but for whatever reason when artists from that era do new music, I don't know if it gets the same support. So for me, I'd rather do new stuff in a different lane instead of messing up the Escape legacy.
Right. But do you think that's an R&B thing? Because I see rock artists come out and they can put out stuff and it goes.
It is an R&B thing, and I would definitely say that. Same way that we as black people will tell somebody they got to stop rapping because they turn 40. But a rock star can still rock around with their tattoos and
Steven
screaming
Tyler.
on the mic till they 80 years old, and y'all still out there supporting them. And I don't, but what I will say, it has been a blessing. There has been a change in the way that we do come out and support live performances from our older artists now.
Meaning
so
what? The concerts
So
are
now
doing
you're
more?
seeing, have you noticed you've seen like a lot more R&B concerts from artists from that era, and that's because, people want to see it.
Yeah.
People are streaming more music from that era. You
Yes,
know?
and it's being found by new generations. They're like listening. I was talking to some girl and she was talking about Tony. And I'm like, how would you know about that? She's like, oh, I have this on my playlist.
Think about it. When Tony and God bless Dwayne, we just lost him recently.
Yeah.
But when they went out on tour last, that thing was selling out everywhere.
It was.
Because people love that music and miss the
Real
90s era
R&B.
of R&B. It's like, come on, y'all. It's like, we got to recognize that. And I would like for people to start supporting these artists when they do want to come back and do something new.
Okay. Is there anybody that you would like to work with that you haven't worked with musically? Would you do a little collabo or something? Maybe not Escape legacy stuff, but maybe you and another artist.
Oh yeah, I mean, who don't I want to work with? Let's say that. I mean, I love Bruno Mars. Would love to do something with him. I love.
What about Anderson .Paak?
I love him
so
too.
dope, too.
I love him too.
Yeah.
Let's
put it on out there.
Let's put that out there.
Manifest that.
Even as far as like, I love Chris Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's so dope, and I feel like because of all that he's been through, people want to like keep holding that over his head, but musically and
But
as an artist,
winning.
he's so dope.
He's talented.
I think he's a Taurus too.
Oh, then there you go. There's your connection. She's giving this whole Taurus connection.
You know me, I'm joking. I mean, well, I'm not joking. I feel, shout out to Team Taurus, but whatever.
All right, so music, we got your products. Broadway. What am I missing? Anything? Have you done a clothing line? Do I need to buy some clothing from Kandi Clothes?
No, I don't have a clothing line. I had clothing stores, but recently my partner Peaches, shout out to her. I told her she could take over tags. I don't want to do clothing stores.
No more
anymore.
clothes.
It's not that. I mean, it was profitable. Don't get me wrong, but I want to narrow my focus this year.
And so, strategy. What are you looking at? What are we narrowing down to?
Well, I want to have more time to enjoy life, but focus on the things that make me happy. So I've been, doing more auditions. I want to do more acting. I want to, do more performing, the things that I love, and like producing stuff. So like I said, I got one movie in the can that I produced that's coming. I have another one that we're filming soon. My husband and I, we are producing another docuseries. We have a development deal with NBC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so doing those things, the creative stuff is where I really enjoy myself. I want to be back in the studio writing for people more. Mm-hmm. I never have time to do it, or I hadn't really been having time to like be there like that. But I love the creative stuff. I'm still gonna, have, bedroom candy. That's
passive income. Let that money come on.
That's got to keep going for a while.
Yeah.
I love bedroom. What I did with bedroom candy, our consultants, because it's like a whole. I always say it's a sorority fraternity. We got a couple of guys in there too that are consultants as well.
Nice.
And we support each other, and it's
that's
really,
a whole community, a whole tribe.
It is. It's a whole tribe. So
yeah.
I got to keep that going.
Okay.
But I've been trying to figure out, what else I'm gonna just, slim down, for all the stress. I walked away from housewives last year. Love them, still support them.
Right. But you needed to make a change.
I need to make a change.
And look at what you're doing.
And I've been traveling more.
What about the babies?
We've been having us a good old time.
Aww.
I don't know if y'all saw, we did our ski trip recently. Before that, I was in Africa. I'm taking the whole family. We going to China on a school trip with my kids.
Nice.
Yeah, because Ace and Blaze, they both take Mandarin.
Mm-hmm.
So, the whole family going.
Oh, this is new age stuff. They take Mandarin?
Yeah, when I leave you, I'm going to lunch with Riley and Kayla because, our older girls live here in New York.
Yes, in New York.
Yeah, so, just trying to do more. Riley has some big stuff coming up.
Okay.
So you'll see us back with her this year. Just help guide her career to make sure she's taking it to the next level. Yeah, trying to make sure.
You're living the life. Living it.
Well, I want to live it.
Yeah. Well, you're working it and you're living it. Okay, before we wrap, because I know you're busy. I always like to ask for advice for my people, words of encouragement. What would you give, the words of encouragement, just to someone who's looking maybe to extend their brand? Maybe they've had success and they're like, I want to kind of do like what she's doing.
Well, if it's something you want to do, just start doing it.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple.
But you get in your head sometimes.
Everybody gets in their head, and so that's why I say get out of your head. Stop being your own hater, because that's the first thing we do. We tell ourselves, "Oh, it's too late to start trying it now. I'm too old to do this, or I don't have enough money to do that." Or we always tell ourselves what reasons we have that it won't work to talk ourselves out of it.
Right.
Stop doing that. Go ahead and start doing research on your idea. And make the first step. The first step and then keep going.
And keep going.
Put some dates on, some deadlines on whatever it is you're trying to make happen. Set an event. Like if you already, you want to do something or you want to, you have a product you don't know, go ahead and find somebody to collaborate with and y'all set a date for that event within the next 3 months. So you can go ahead and start planning how you're going to promote it, do all that, put it on the calendar.
That's
get the venue. Go ahead and get it going. Get it done.
Just get it done.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, wait. What do you listen to outside of your music and Siren's music? You getting hyped up? You in the gym, or maybe you at the house? What are you listening to?
I'm listening to tracks that producers sent me.
No, other songs that you get hyped to.
I'm trying to write some new songs. Okay, no. What am I listening to? I like listening to the R&B playlist. On a lot of the streaming services. So I like listening to the current R&B playlist.
Got you.
I've been listening to the London R&B playlist a lot lately.
Is it a lot different?
Not quite. Well, it is different from what's happening in the U.S. right now. But
and they love R&B over there across
they do
across the pond.
So I've been kind of just trying to keep my ear to the streets to what's current, so I always stay current in what's going on. You know, because that's how you lose touch if you're not listening to what's happening right now. So I always try to keep my ear in tune to what's happening right now. But I have also been making a playlist of a lot of 70s and 80s music lately for inspiration.
Yeah. It's a different vibe. Even before, and God rest his soul, Roy Ayers passed, I was on his Run, Run, Run. I had been having that on. I'm like, he was in a whole different zone back then, really making music. Meantime, how about they're finding out your stuff? I didn't know that was Kandi on you and your booty, trying to get to you. Girl, I was like.
A lot of people, it's so funny. Okay, so I went through this period of time. I don't know what I was where I started putting Kandi Girl on stuff instead of just Kandi. Like a different persona. So some people don't realize Kandi Girl and Kandi is the same person.
Ta-da!
So it's like, somebody sent me this thing the other day. I've done so many like features on different rap artists, mixtapes and stuff. So like, I didn't realize how many songs I got with Gucci Mane. Like, I was like, I don't even remember
just
doing
random.
it. Yeah, it's just like a whole bunch of stuff that, I did back during that period of time where it's like, you could just go back. I mean, David Banner, is like you said.
But
like,
that's legacy,
everybody.
though. That shows legacy, diversity. Sis is handling business. Yeah. I'm ready for the Kandi biopic.
Hey.
Who's going to star as you? Who would you pick to play your role right now?
Keke Palmer.
I was about to say it. I could definitely see it. Yeah. Let's make it happen. Come on.
I love Keke. If she would, do that. I mean, I don't know. But I don't know. Am I ready for a biopic?
Why not? Girl, I've seen other people with biopics. It's time to get, and
I said I need a series because I got too much going on. Like, people be like, the Escape movie. I'm like, y'all trying to make us fall out again if y'all make us make a movie about it.
Don't do it.
So it's like from the things that I dealt with in the industry back in the day, on all of that, and then things behind the scenes, and then things during the reality world.
Come on,
do
that.
Yeah, I thought about that too.
That would be
like,
good.
How would that work without making people upset?
Change the names to protect the guilty.
Right. Yeah, but even as long as I did reality TV, just all the back and forth with the ladies behind the scenes and different things.
I can't even imagine.
It's like crazy.
I can't, but that gives you enough fodder, enough stuff to.
I got way more. Too much to talk about, but I don't know if I.
Okay, so not the movie yet. Have you done a book yet?
No.
Come on, can I get a book? A motivational book, a hustle book, something.
People ask me that question all the time.
Well, then that means it's time, ma'am. Hello.
I guess.
Just do it. Did she just say do the doggone thing?
Right, but I think for a lot of people it has to be a passion for you, what you want to do. And I'm like, am I at a point in my life that I want to write a book about my life? No, I feel like I got so much more to do.
It could be the first book. You don't have to stop at one book, ma'am.
I guess.
All right, fine. Kandi, thank you so much for this deep dive. I love what you're doing. I love your energy, your spirit. You are an inspiration to all of us. So continue on.
Thank you.
Make sure you go watch Othello, see it on Broadway,
yes.
and go back and see Kandi doing her thing as well.